So in our last video, we shared 7 things that we love about living here in Santa Rosa, and you guys responded with several things that you liked and definitely a lot of things that you didn't like about living here in Santa Rosa. And so in today's video, we are going to share 7 specific things that we don't like about living here in Santa Rosa. And that way, if you are thinking about making a move here, you can make a more informed decision about your next move. If you're new to our channel, my name is Michael Furl, and I'm the owner of the Hiraeth Homes real estate team. We are one of the top teams here in Northern California and specialize in the Sonoma County housing market. And so if you are looking for the best information possible to make a more informed decision on your next move in real estate, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to stay up to speed on our latest video. So as a quick recap from our last video, which you can find here, Santa Rosa is located in Northern California and is about an hour north of San Francisco. It is centrally located in Sonoma County between Healdsburg and Petaluma and has a population of just under 180,000 people. So one of the first issues that we have with Santa Rosa is the misperception that all of Santa Rosa is a bad place to live. And this simply isn't true. In our last video, there were some comments that Santa Rosa is ghetto and that it's going downhill. And when I followed up with these individuals and asked them specifically what area of Santa Rosa that they live in, they didn't respond. And I think that people forget that Santa Rosa is a decent sized city. It's nearly 43 square miles. And like any city, there's gonna be some great areas and probably some areas that you want to avoid. And there are definitely some areas that you want to avoid in Santa Rosa, and they tend to run along the 101 corridor, areas such as South Park or Moreland. However, these neighborhoods don't necessarily reflect what life is like living in Bennett Valley or Rincon Valley, which are very desirable neighborhoods. For example, I've never heard of a sideshow taking place in Oakmont or Proctor Terrace, which are also very desirable neighborhoods of Santa Rosa. And just like Fountain Grove, which is one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Santa Rosa to live in, doesn't accurately reflect what life is like throughout all of Santa Rosa, neither do these neighborhoods. Generally speaking, Northeast Santa Rosa tends to be one of the best locations to live in Santa Rosa, with some of the best schools, followed by Southeast Santa Rosa, then Northwest Santa Rosa, and then lastly, Southwest Santa Rosa. Our second biggest issue with Santa Rosa is homelessness. It is impossible to drive throughout the area and completely avoid seeing someone sleeping in their car or on the sidewalk, and it has easily become one of the biggest concerns facing the community. It is a direct result of the significant increase in the cost of living, COVID, and multiple rounds of fires that have contributed to a nearly 13% increase in the homeless population to nearly 1,700 individuals. Homeless camps tend to form in high traffic areas such as the Joe Rodata Trail, so even if you live in a prominent area such as Fountain Grove, you are likely to pass by a homeless camp when you're on your way to work or if you're going shopping. However, there is good news on the horizon. Santa Rosa just released a 39-page strategic plan to bring homelessness to functional zero by the year 2027. And they're gonna do this by providing shelter, healthcare, and mental and behavioral services to help get these individuals off the street. They're also working on homelessness prevention by building more low-income housing and also providing additional housing assistance. So our third biggest issue that we have with Santa Rosa are the roads. There are approximately 512 miles of roadway throughout Santa Rosa, and 28% of those roads have a pavement condition index between 26 to 49, which means the roads are actually in poor condition. 4% of those roads have a rating of 25 or below, which means the roads have actually completely failed. There's a road, for example, that my wife and I drive on every day, and it is littered with potholes, and during the winter time, when there's heavy rains, can actually flood and cause the road to get shut down. However, there is good news on the horizon. 47% of the roads in Santa Rosa have a pavement condition index rating of 70 to 100, which means they're actually in good condition. Our neighborhood, for example, which is the Riggle Ranch community, is only 10 years old, and the roads here are excellent. So most of the roads that are in poor condition tend to be centered around some of the oldest areas of Santa Rosa. In addition, Santa Rosa is planning to repair 33 miles of residential roads in just the next 2 years. And in addition, they have increased funding from $11 to $15.5 million to address repairs. So number 4 on our list is traffic. Every morning, either myself or my wife will take our kids to school, and we'll take the Highway 12 to 101 juncture, and it is always backed up. Traffic tends to be the worst during the commute hours or when the carpool lane is in place during 7 to 9 a.m. or from 3 to 6:30. So the best thing to do is try to avoid driving during this time, or if you have to, take the frontage or back roads. For number 5, we have fire risk. In 2017, the Tubbs fire claimed the lives of 40 individuals and caused 6,200 homes to be lost. And since then, there have been a number of other fires that have caused schools to get shut down, natural vegetation loss, power outages, visual destruction, emergency evacuations, and even insurance premiums increasing. Fortunately, a lot of the natural vegetation that was burnt over the last 5 years has significantly reduced the chances of another significant fire event like in 2017 from happening again. And so far in 2022, there has not been any significant fires in Santa Rosa taking place. In addition, millions of dollars are getting poured into fire prevention, from electrical lines being run underground, improved infrastructure, and also fire-resistant buildings and materials being used. Number 6, we have the cost of living. There is no question that this area is very expensive to live in, and over the last couple of years, home prices have soared nearly 35% to an average price of $750,000 to $800,000. The average 2-bedroom apartment is currently renting for $2,300 a month, and sales tax here in Santa Rosa is 9.25%. So there is no question that it is very expensive to live here, but it's important to put things into context. If you compare Santa Rosa to somewhere in the Midwest, it is incredibly expensive. But if you are looking to live specifically in Sonoma County, if you compare some of the other areas such as Sebastopol, Petaluma, Healdsburg, or Sonoma, it is one of the least expensive places to live. In addition, there's good news on the horizon because home prices have started to fall as much as 10% with the market correcting. So hopefully this is going to help more buyers be able to purchase over the next couple of years. And last, in number 7, we have a lack of community. Santa Rosa is a decent sized city with nearly 180,000 individuals, so it doesn't really have that same small town feeling that some of the neighboring cities such as Windsor or Sebastopol share. And part of this is because gentrification has been inconsistent and there's a huge disparity in the quality of the neighborhoods. So instead of seeing the entire city really come together, we often see Santa Rosa get broken into smaller neighborhoods, which tend to form those more tight-knit relationships in areas such as Regal Ranch, Proctor Terrace, or Hidden Valley. So while Santa Rosa does have a lot of incredible things to offer, there are definitely some areas of concern to be aware of. And it is also important to keep in perspective that anytime you're getting feedback, whether good or bad, it may not necessarily reflect what life is like for all of Santa Rosa. And so you can avoid many of these concerns by doing your research in advance to make sure that you identify what area is going to be right for you and your family. In the comment section below, make sure you share with us what is your favorite neighborhood in Santa Rosa, and we're going to feature some of these locations in our upcoming videos. Until next time.